there it is.
There's the helicopter.
And there's a
we
crowd
hear
going up.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a crowd going. The crowd is starting to, anticipate his arrival here, which is happening right in front of us. Everyone is leaning forward. All our auxiliary bishops are standing at the base of the stairway, waiting for him.
We can see the helicopter touch down right now, Konrad. We're with you. Talk us through it. We're going to make some observations as well, so we're going to keep jumping in and out with you and let our viewers know what they're seeing.
And Vatican flag is waving over Brooklyn. You can see everyone's little personal flags getting ready to welcome.
And we caught sight
of
our Monsignor Harrington, who is the Vicar for Communications for the Diocese of Brooklyn, waiting eagerly for the Holy Father to approach.
Isn't it?
Yes, and
really fantastic.
Unlike at Andrews Air Force Base, the Diocese of Brooklyn is running this show. It's really all us. Brooklyn and Queens.
We've brought it back to Brooklyn.
It's a more intimate gathering.
Kudos
it's a brief
to New
hello
York
and goodbye.
City. That's right. Kudos to New York City and all the other cities he's visited. But for this time, we've brought it back to Brooklyn. We're taking ownership.
That's right.
And Monsignor Harrington.
Yeah, and the cheers starting to rise.
To actually ride in the helicopter.
Yes, on his way from when
JFK,
he landed at JFK
to the
to the Wall Street heliport, Monsignor Harrington had an opportunity to sit with the Holy Father in the helicopter.
Yes.
I gotta be honest with you, after that, I think my bucket list would be complete.
Yeah,
You might
ride
as
in
well
a
just
helicopter with the
dig
Pope.
a hole and bury me. I've lived a life. God bless you.
So it's about 8:45 in New York. The Holy Father probably has been up since 5 in the morning. He gets up and he does a shower, and then he prays for an hour and a half. He'll pray the breviary, and he'll meditate in front of the Blessed Sacrament. He'll pray his rosary. Normally he would celebrate Mass, but he's celebrating Mass later today.
We have Monsignor Jamie, Monsignor Harrington. They're all getting in place. The Pope Francis is going to approach them.
Okay.
And the nuns from our own Borough Park, or who stayed in our monastery in Borough Park, are waiting also. And I'm trying to give you a picture.
You're doing great. Thank you,
Bishop
Konrad.
DiMarzio.
And that's our own camera.
It's a lot going on, and then we have all the faces from our channel, all lined up.
I know we have such a great contingent out there. We're very well represented. I do see some familiar faces, some that have even sat on some
are slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
We have, and then Benedito Auza is also arriving. It's very hard to. I'm going to step behind the camera.
Whatever vantage point you can get, grab it, Konrad. Is that our Ed Wilkinson out there, our news director?
Looks like
editor
it.
of the tablet?
Yep.
Front and center, snapping those amazing shots.
Right, and we also saw him earlier, as you know, in his arrival. He had a prominent feature, and he was right there.
And
his
right now,
face
this
was
is
beamed
a
all over the
feed
internet.
of the Holy Father about to. Do you deplane a helicopter? Is that the proper terminology? I know you deplane a plane. Disembarco.
De-helicopter?
I think deplane.
Deplane.
That must be Cardinal
That
Dolan.
is Cardinal Dolan.
And here comes the Holy
And
Father.
there he is.
And Dolan is here. Yeah, we weren't sure if Dolan was going to. There he is.
Yes, he was the first. He led the Holy Father out.
There's our Holy Father.
And that
People
is
are just still.
Monsignor?
They're waiting to comprehend that he's actually here after this long
waves
wait.
to the
Yeah,
crowd.
now it's becoming apparent. He's here in Brooklyn for the second time.
Amen.
We are family.
We are family. We can hear it. Right on cue.
Yep, and we've got a bullhorn welcoming him.
Only in Brooklyn. A bullhorn.
Students from St. Francis College
welcoming the Pope.
can't contain themselves.
That's awesome.
We are family. That is the theme for today.
Amen. Yes, we are.
And that's Bishop DiMarzio, I'm sure.
There he
And
goes to
here come
join
the Blue Nuns.
all our bishops. Oh,
And those are the nuns that stayed at our monastery in Borough Park. Conrad. Oh, and
yeah,
the
and
flowers
they're now
have been-
presenting him with the gifts,
Oh,
the white flowers, and the images of the Marian images from our
Beautiful.
own cathedral, our co-cathedral.
what a
And we'll find out what they say after. I'm going to be speaking with these nuns afterwards, and we'll find out, you know, what exchange. I'm sure he has a very personal exchange with them, a chance to
Yes.
touch their hearts, you know, in this really brief encounter.
What a great encouragement
As these
to
gifts
them.
from
Oh, my
Brooklyn,
goodness.
Diocese of Brooklyn, are shared with him.
Conrad, it's an absolute beautiful sight,
Yep.
and the look on his face is just so extraordinary. It's a look of welcome, it's a look of warmth, it's a look of I support you, I love you, thank you so much for the work that you do. It's really a sight to see. And there's
Yes.
our
No,
bishop,
he's really taking his
Bishop
time with them,
DiMarzio.
you know.
We see him in the background there, the leader of the church in Brooklyn and in Queens. We see our vicar for
Oh.
communications, that's our
And
Monsignor
they had
Harrington.
their moment. You could see the smiles on their faces.
Our
as they had their
Monsignor
moment
Jamie
with our Holy
Gigantiello.
Father.
And you're right, yes, Conrad, the look on their faces, the smiles, say it all.
And we will have the chance to speak with them afterwards.
We're looking
to
forward
talk about
to
their
that.
gifts and
Yes.
what was said.
We are really looking forward to that.
These nuns who are from Argentina, our Holy Father's home country, a way just showing the diversity of Brooklyn and how he is always at home in the Diocese of Brooklyn, in in many ways, but also because of our diversity and the fact that you can find people from all over the world here in such strong numbers and with such strong faith.
Mm.
And we are family still. We've still got we got family.
They've got a
Still
few
going.
more courses of that to go. A windy day,
I don't
apparently.
think they're going to
on
quit
the
before he
tarmac.
leaves. Yes. And Bishop DiMarzio is right behind him.
That religious order, they're the servants of the Lord and of the Virgin of Matara.
Virgin of?
Matara.
I've never heard of that title.
Yeah, I've heard of them before.
They're from Argentina? Is
Just
that
a
Yeah.
quick look at all our faithful who are gathered here.
From
The youth
family
are
of the
craning
Incarnate
forward.
Word.
Many young people from our schools, from St. Francis College, from our parishes. A real proud Brooklyn, Queens goodbye.
We really are. We are such a proud diocese. I can't imagine how spectacular they must feel right now.
They don't want the Holy Father to leave.
No.
That's for
it's
sure.
Always so
But
bittersweet.
they've done such a great job keeping
Yeah, there
things
he
on
is.
time.
You know, it's a brief moment, but again, it's filled with so much, an exchange of gifts, and just, and we can, as a visit to New York, this has been amazing, but that we've also hosted him for such a brief moment, but a meaningful moment in Brooklyn
Conrad,
and Queens.
I kind of feel like
Yes.
here in the Diocese of Brooklyn, this is the largest going away party he's had in the last couple in the trips. Because Washington, there were not that many people surrounding him as he got on the plane. Or am I just delusional and
No, I think you're right.
and
There's a
giving
lot
Brooklyn
of
more
affection for
props?
the Holy Father here.
Oh, he's
Are-
not ready to leave.
That little bauble there is what every priest knows about when you're wearing a cassock.
You
He's got his own
mentioned,
bag there,
yes.
too.
Well, you step on the front of it, and it looks like he's having a hard time.
He is
Oh.
struggling just a little bit.
He is. And that's because he's
It's a little
stepping
sign of his
he's-
humility that he hasn't got people take
There
the
he
front of
is.
his
you know,
cassock.
kicking up.
And he gets up there, he goes, I'm fine.
Well, if he wasn't carrying the bag, he'd be able to lift the
So-
cassock, but he had to have one hand on the railing and one there. So that's a tricky
He's
maneuver even
not
if you're 15 years old.
Giving up that bag. Always look for that bag, but he's fine, our Holy Father. Safely on board, now officially Shepherd 1. Final goodbyes, a few handshakes,
You know,
some press also heading on. part of his entourage, I'm sure, already on board, but the remainder making their way up the stairs. The flags, of course, out the window. We'll watch to see when they close those windows. That's been a very big point of contention on this show, by the way. When do they close the windows and bring those flags in?
There's our own Ed Wilkinson.
Is Ed with you?
That's Ed over there.
Oh, okay, yes. Oh, Ed has been front and center throughout this entire event. He's getting some great shots. I can't wait to see the shots that he snapped for the tablet.
Oh, there's been a... At Andrews, it was, the White House press corps, and here it's Ed Wilkinson.
No comparison. Ed wins, hands down.
We saw Cardinal Dolan from New York. We saw Bishop Murphy from Rockville. We saw Bishop DeMarzio. We saw the Archbishop Auza, who's the Vatican representative for the United Nations. We see Monsignor Harrington there speaking with the nuns in blue from Argentina.
From Argentina.
Yes.
Bittersweet day. Thank you, Holy Father, for coming to New York for 36 hours, and now you head on for the weekend to Philadelphia.
It was so short. Oh, my goodness.
But he covered a lot of territory.
Yeah.
He covered a lot of territory.
And
might I say he did not wait in traffic.
The plane is going to take off.
No.
That's going to be...
No, not at all.
The plane is getting ready to take off. That is going to be the real final goodbye. We have had an excellent opportunity to pray before and during his brief sojourn with us. And we'll be here with all the wonderful pastors and bishops from our diocese to take in this moment, this whole visit. I mean, there's so much to think about, but we can certainly say that we have had a chance to commune in a personal way as Catholics, as a diocese and all diversity, with our Holy Father, and that's the deal is being sealed at this moment.
Very nicely put, Konrad. You're absolutely right. We'll always have the memories, and we'll always have what he taught us, and we'll always have the words that he left with us, and the images that we've seen, that we're seeing now, that we'll be able to talk about for many, many years to come. I'll be able to say, I covered the Holy Father's visit to New York City with Father Joseph and Father Rocky. I was there. It's a memory I will certainly hold dear, and I do not take for granted.
Picture perfect day, isn't it? Today,
It really is.
27th,
Yeah.
26th of September.
It really is. And it has been.
Feast of St. Cosmas and Damien, and the Holy Father will... how long of a flight is it to Philadelphia?
It's not long.
Philly's not long. Philly's about 45 minutes, I think. Less than an hour.
Yeah.
Less than an hour.
Yes.
Just up and down, isn't it?
Just like Washington, D.C. Yeah. I mean, D.C. is...
It's even closer.
It is even closer.
Philadelphia, the
more than 200
birth of the nation.
Churches represented. And once the plane leaves, we will have a chance to talk with the nuns who have been staying in Borough Park in one of our monasteries, and we'll just get a chance to, just get see what their first-hand encounter was like.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, Konrad, because the looks on their faces says to me that the Holy Father has touched them at that moment on a very deep and spiritual level, and I would love to hear exactly what the exchange was.
And just by his presence here, we've had a chance to learn so much and to really deepen our faith, and this is just the moment where the even deeper reflection begins, I would say.
Yes.
but also an awareness of ourselves as a community, our diocese, this vast diocese.
The Holy Father's plane preparing to make its way to Philadelphia. I just did a quick check here. He should be in the air, Father Rocky, for about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes.
Up and down.
Up and down.
And he'll be able to see New York from the air. He'll be able to see
Yes.
New Jersey and arriving in Philadelphia. For people unfamiliar with this, it's one of the most densely populated areas of the country, and it's highly Catholic. Probably 40% of the people who live in that area are baptized Catholics.
And I want to say that's the explanation for the large crowd, but he's attracting more than just Catholics.
Oh, certainly he is.
You know,
Yes.
Certainly he is.
he's touched the world.
So during this time, while the Holy Father is on the jet, he may be speaking with the press corps. I think it's too short to give any kind of press interview. He'll probably reserve that for when he leaves on Sunday night, flying back to Rome. And now people eagerly await him in Philadelphia. And I think with all the great media coverage we've had the last several days, people are making the decision right now, honey, grab the kids, get in the car, we're going to Philly. All right, we want to be there for the Mass with the Holy Father, with the families. The weather looks good, and let's just do it. We'll never get this opportunity again, because we've seen all this week, haven't we, Liz, how the crowds are growing and growing.
Yes,
When we saw this
they're
on TV
swelling.
yesterday, there are far more people in Central Park than the people expected.
I think they may have had to turn people away.
I think so as well. I think so as
I
well.
really do. When we made the turn into the security area and kind of looked back, there was a sea of people waiting to get in, and the park, I don't believe I'm saying that, well, that portion of the park was almost full to capacity. So people are willing, they're eager, they're encouraged, they just want to know more about this man and meet this man. And as you mentioned, Father Rocky, the first stop today will be the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, the 151-year-old seat of the Philadelphia Archdiocese. It's going to celebrate Mass there for bishops and priests.
And the Diocese of Brooklyn presented the Holy Father with a little gift, a memento of his journey. And actually, Monsignor Harrington showed it to me the other night. It is a handmade picture book of the stunningly beautiful cathedral in Brooklyn called the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph. I've seen, and I told Monsignor this the other night, I said, I've seen many, many churches, but this is really one of the most beautiful churches I've ever seen.
Isn't it extraordinary?
A recent restoration, beautiful artwork, and it just, it takes you in fact, I was there, when I got home last night, the doors were open, and my taxi driver was from the Dominican Republic, and he said he's Catholic, but he doesn't have a church. I said, well, this is going to be your church. Come on and take a look. You can't get a better church than this. And I walked in, and there were like 100 people there.
Really?
On a Friday night, on their knees in adoration. Monsignor was leading adoration. They were singing, and they gave a little pep talk. A homily said, I know many of you couldn't be at Madison Square Garden today. Many couldn't meet the Pope. But by bringing you these sandwiches out to the poor and homeless tonight, you can do better than meet the Pope. You're going to meet Christ. That's what Monsignor said to the people. So there's a lot of life there. And so they gave a copy of this book to the Pope. And I asked Monsignor for one favor. I said, this person's tracked me down on the internet. I don't know her at all, but she's got a boy who's 8.5 years old, who only has 10% of his intestines. He wants to meet the Pope, and we don't think he can get there to Philadelphia. Would you get this prayer request to the Pope? I said, I don't know how I could do that, but hey, maybe Monsignor could do it. And he said, yeah, maybe I could put that in the book. Wouldn't that be neat if someone from his staff reaches out to that family to let them know that he's concerned about that mother and father and that child who has special needs? And those stories, there's dozens of them.
That would be
right?
so typical of a story that you hear from the Holy Father. What a beautiful message from
And sometimes
Monsignor Harrington.
people just show up on your radar, and they kind of rise to that because that's sort of the urgency. It's like the mother who is insisting, heal my daughter, heal my daughter, heal my daughter. And the Lord says to her, I can't, you're not Jewish, and I can't give the breadcrumbs. I can't give the bread to the dogs. He said, yeah, but dogs still get crumbs. And he said, woman, great is your faith. Your daughter is saved. And in these stories from the New Testament that Jesus told, they take place in our time today. They certainly take place in our time today.
You're absolutely right.
So we know there are many people coming to Philadelphia. They all have great expectations. The Holy Father's waving to us now from the window on the American airline flight, and we're waving back to him. That is great.
Isn't that great? I think this is also a very sentimental moment for him, too. I really think he enjoyed our city.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
sure he did.
appreciated the love and warmth that with which we received him.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I wonder how the cameraman knew exactly where he'd be sitting. Maybe it's only be by that red spot on the American. And there it goes. There it goes.
I'm interested to learn more about this meeting with seminarians at St. Charles Borromeo Seminary when he talks to them this afternoon. Gentlemen, from this is your area of expertise. What type of message would a seminarian need to hear? Of course, the Pope's message will be his own, but what does a seminarian in this day and time need to hear from the leader of the church?
I was fortunate enough to be in the chapel in 1995 when Pope John Paul II gave us the address. And I will never forget when he walked in, how it was such an impact. It was such an important time in my vocation, because he was preparing us for the future. He was preparing us for what would happen. He was preparing us to be good priests, to be good fathers, to be good shepherds, to be good leaders. And it was an important message at the time, and I'm sure that Pope Francis is eager to speak with all of these seminarians and give them a message of hope and to prepare them for what's coming in the future for them as the future leaders of the church. So he will speak about taking care of the poor. He will speak of addressing the neediest, as we've heard thus far, and I'm sure he will also have probably a mention of the family there for them. So it's going to be an important message. I know that these young men are going to be anxiously awaiting to hear his message, and it will be well received.
Okay, we are, this is a moment I've been waiting for. Konrad Aderer has now gotten together with the nuns. He's gotten the nuns together, the nuns from Argentina, and he's ready to talk with them and to us. Konrad, please.
Yes, this is Sister Mary of the Redeemer, and you have been staying in our Most Precious Blood Monastery, is that correct?
Yes, we live in the Precious Blood Monastery in Fort Hamilton Parkway, Borough Park.
And you are from Argentina?
Argentina, yes.
So tell me what just happened. You had an encounter with our Holy Father. Can you just tell me what happened?
I gave him flowers representing the prayers of the people for him, and also his prayers being heard by the Blessed Mother, because we know he has a great devotion to Saint Therese of Lisieux, so we gave him flowers, roses, white roses, and it has a card, and it says, I will make rain flowers from heaven, a rain of graces from heaven.
That's wonderful. And did you also present him with something representing our Marian images from the Co-Cathedral?
There was a book with images of the Blessed Mother that are presented in the Co-Cathedral.
So that and what he spent a little bit of time with you and your sisters. Can you tell me what happened in that moment?
We told him that we are contemplatives, and right after that he said, pray for me. And then when he went to the next sister, he said the same, pray for me, to everybody.
And what were you thinking in that moment? Were there particular prayers you were thinking about for him, for yourself, for the church, for the world?
Yes. After that, I'm still thinking, what else can I do for him and for the church? Sure.
Wonderful. Well, you did a lot, and you you really represented our diocese, well, really our entire nation, but you know, it feels very special to have this opportunity to give him the welcome because he was in Manhattan all this time. You know, did you see him also?
I went to St. Patrick on Thursday. It was beautiful too.
What for you was your favorite moment during his visit?
Well, at St. Patrick, praying with him, that was a beautiful moment. You know, you are with the Pope praying the prayer of the Church. That's magnificent. And now this encounter, and to be able to say that we love him and we pray for him, that's something wonderful.
And what do you think he had most to gain, to learn from our diocese? You know, having this little brief moment, you know, in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
Can you tell me again?
Well, do you feel that you know, we gave him a good send off as a diocese?
I think so. Yes.
Konrad.
Well, this was you know, an amazing moment, and you know, yes.
Konrad, please, first of all, I thank Sister Mary of the Redeemer for being with us. I have a quick question for her. When the Pope addressed them and made special mention of religious and nuns and their value in the church and in our faith, can you ask her exactly what that meant to her?
So, you know, Pope Francis, during his visit, he especially mentioned the nuns, you know, the sisters, the women religious. Can you tell me what that meant to you?
It's very important because he gave two advices he said, be thankful always of the gift of your vocation, and the second, don't forget sacrifice. And those two things will make your life worthy, no? And really a true or a true consecrated life. You know, it would be an image of a real consecrated life, and so I think that was great. And also the words that he delivered toward the sisters, especially the ones who have been working in education and have educated this country for years. So
Konrad, I can see how touched she was by the message. Konrad, is there any way you can possibly get Sister Mary's fellow sisters to come and speak with us as well? We'd love to hear, you know, how they felt, what their reaction was, and just reach out.
Okay. Would any of your fellow sisters be willing to come join us over here, or and maybe you can talk with some other folks who are waiting?
Baby, let me go.
Yeah, let her go get
yes,
it. We're not
wait.
shy
She is
here
gonna
on
bring
Net.
them over. I mean,
we bring them all in, Konrad.
I mean,
Maybe they could tell us what they do.
so many aspects. Hi, yes.
Konrad, can you please ask the sisters, any one of them, when you have an opportunity, what do they do on a daily basis?
Just waiting. Yes. Sorry. Sister, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, Sister Mary of the Incarnate Word. This is in Spanish. María del Verbo Encarnado.
So, Sister, we'd like to know, you know, what do you do over in Most Precious Blood?
Well, our apostolate is to pray. We offer our lives to God in the cloister life to pray, especially, first of all, for the Pope, then for the Church, and then for the salvation of all souls. This is our main goal.
And how touched were you that, you know, Pope Francis really remembered this, you know, you sisters in his visit, you know, in his remarks, and really recognized the work that you do?
You mean all the sisters, or us?
Yes, all the sisters, you particularly.
Well, as he said in the Cathedral of St. Patrick, he thanks the sisters, especially for the work, because they were mothers of these people, no? And I think this is the image of that he has, and this is really what a sister is, a consecrated religious, no? Offer his life, and is a spiritual mother for all people, in prayer and in work also, no?
Pope Francis spoke of your sacrifice, but I know that there are rewards. Was today what were the moments of his visit that were most rewarding for you?
Sorry, you mean?
Well, tell me about how you felt during your moment with Pope Francis.
Was a blessing from God. I mean, we didn't expect this. It was a surprise for us and a gift from God. It was something that the divine providence prepared for us. I don't know. I don't have words. It's a joy, an interior joy, and because we meet the Vicar of Christ, no? We meet Christ.
Konrad?
And were you involved in the gift? Did you have yes?
No, you can finish your question,
Liz.
and then I also have one for Sister Maria. So please finish your question, and then I have one.
Okay. Yes. And were you involved in the gift? Did you have thoughts about it, or were you involved in putting it together for him?
You mean what we did? What we? Yeah. Well, some of the sisters gave flowers, which means the prayers of all the people for the Pope, and in this year of the consecrated life. Especially, it's very significant that a sister, a contemplative sister, gives the roses for the Pope, no? Because this is our apostolate, the prayer. No?
Yes, Sister Maria. We have one question. Yes, Liz, you would like to ask Sister Maria a question?
Yes. I just want to ask Sister Maria, first of all, thank her so much for talking with us, and also ask her how the message from the Pope during this event, during this time, is going to encourage her going forward. What will she add? What things will she change?
So how has Pope Francis' message, especially to the sisters, changed you, and how has it encouraged you, and how will your life and your work be different from now on from Pope Francis' visit? Just thinking back on how he addressed you.
Well, I think he's a Pope of he reflects for me the merciful love of God. So this is an inspiring, something that really inspire your life, no? Because he showed in his life how to live the Christian life, no? Loving your brothers, your sisters, no? And do good for others, no? This is the way in which we love God, loving our brothers and sisters, no? And so this is inspiring in our life because he showed how to live. So she gave us example, not only the teaching with his words, but his example.
All right,
so
Konrad.
now we are like we have the energy to do the work we have to do.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with Sister Maria. It has been really special, and we wish you the best. We hope to see you again, in your work. We're right close, but it was very wonderful to have this chance to share your moment with Pope Francis.
Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless. Thank you, Sister. Yes, remarkable moment, and it just the one close encounter that we as a diocese had was through these women, and it just has been a joy to have them share that with us.